when drought comes, our immediate thought is, what can we do to help sustain, aquifer levels and such? And that's important to be aware of what we can do, for example, around our house, around our businesses. But I will say this, that the best that we can do to manage through a drought is to be prepared for a drought. And that is, for example, in our homes and around our homes, one of the greatest areas of water overusage is outdoors in our lawns. As we think about drought and we contemplate what happens during drought, our minds generally go to quantity of water in the aquifer. But even during droughts, it's important to remember that quality of the water is equally important. And our mission has kind of turned it towards quality here of late, as we're looking at ways that we can not only protect the quantity of water in the aquifer, but also the quality. Another question that we often get is when are you out of drought? What does it mean to come out of drought? And there's not a real straightforward answer to that, because when in drought, that means that you're having a deficit of rainfall. And the deficit of rainfall, depending on how long it lasts, is going to impact aquifer levels. And that means that you're going to start seeing declines in aquifer level and in spring flows. And so how do we turn the tide, if you will, in drought? Well, it's going to take a lot of rainfall, and it's going to take a sustained period of rain. In other words, going from a dry season to a wet season. And where that rain falls, for example, within the region also matters. So the watershed to the Edwards Aquifer really consists of the larger contributing zone, which is mostly the Texas Hill Country, and then the recharge zone that accepts the water as it flows from the hill country down towards the artesian zone. So getting as much water as we can up higher up in the watershed is going to help us get out of drought sooner rather than later. And every bit of rain that does fall, though, does help in the sense that it also helps suppress demand from the aquifer. So as you might imagine, when it's raining, that means people aren't having to irrigate their lawns or their crops, or having to use water in the same way that they would if it's hot and dry. And so again, just a change in weather pattern is what is necessary to break a drought cycle. And here in this part of Texas, as we've become very familiar with, it's generally a flooding type of scenario, unfortunately, that historically has brought us out of drought. So we need to be prepared for all those scenarios and plan accordingly. So if you can prepare your lawn in such a way that you're using drought-tolerant plants and grasses that will hold water longer, it will not only benefit the aquifer, but it'll benefit your bottom line with the money that you have to spend on water rates. So that's one very important thing. In addition to that, there's a lot of just common sense practical things you can do, such as, for example, running full loads of dishes in your dishwashers and also clothes in your washing machines, so you're maximizing the use of that water and not wasting. In addition to that, I think if you can monitor your use and always be mindful of leaks around your property, around your homes, around your businesses, you will be able to prevent water loss. And when it comes time to drought, you will be in a better position to be as efficient with your water use, and it'll help you, again, like I say, with your bottom line and saving you money.